Hello everyone and welcome to the first official Fourdown radio show, Fourdown's Running Wild. And have I got a show in store for you tonight. But before we get started, I'd like to thank eDog32 for coming up with the name Fourdown's Running Wild, and for that he will get a link at the side of every YouTube video. Alright, well let's get on with the show. Now, first today I want to talk about the most underrated match of the week. Now, as I'll get into later, I was a big fan of the SmackDown last night, and I really enjoyed the Justin Gabriel versus Cody Rhodes match. I was disappointed when Hornswoggle got chosen at first, but it was good comic relief. And Justin Gabriel, I'm liking what he's doing there with Hornswoggle. Now, the match had some good back and forth action and really put over Justin Gabriel. I think it could have gone on a bit longer actually, and I'd like to see whether these two will have another confrontation next week. However, I think they should be more concentrating on Goldust, as he's going to be taking part in the Royal Rumble, in my opinion. And I think those two will collide at WrestleMania. Career versus Intercontinental Championship. Now, the second thing I want to talk about today has been splitting up the WWE Universe more than a John Cena heel turn, and that is Brodus Clay. Hit his music. Now, unlike a lot of people in the WWE Universe, and especially the IWC, I'm quite a big fan of what's going on here. I see this as a great aspect, and this Friday night on SmackDown completely turned me into a Brodus Clay mark. I mean, did you see how he was reacting to Vicky Guerrero? It was just classical and made it what would be an epic SmackDown. My sister's face just watching it was amazing, and she's not even a WWE fan. And I was just marking out all the way. I think he should be getting some longer matches to show his more reputed skills, but I really like where this is going, and I hope WWE don't drop the ball on this. Yes, that's right. For you people that don't know, a botch in sports entertainment means something that went wrong. Now, this can be very bad for business, but it can also be hysterical for some fans. And tonight there were two botches this week. And the first one goes to Jinder Mahal on SmackDown for his kick recipient from Sheamus. Now, it just looked plain awful, and it was obvious that he hadn't actually been hit. Come on, Jinder. I've never been a fan, but if you're going to get more time on SmackDown, at least get the moves correctly. Now, the second one goes to the WWE creative team. Now, I don't know how many of you saw this, but during the Lumberjack match on SmackDown once again, the face Justin Gabriel and the heel Wade Barrett were stood together. Now, is it only me that realised this? I mean, these two broke up literally 7 months ago. This shouldn't be happening, and it's just obvious how WWE likes us to forget history. This shouldn't be happening once again, and this really disappointed me. But as I've said, I wanted to talk about SmackDown, so this goes on to the next part of the show. It was a really good SmackDown with some really good segments, and definitely better than Raw this week. I just loved every segment, and I smiled the whole way through, which is something that I have been doing with a lot of WWE programming recently, so kudos to SmackDown for being better than Raw this week.
Match of the week.
I know some of you will be sat at home laughing at this, but obviously those are just temporary jingles while I'm still working out how to work Audacity and my computer. But anyway, the match of the week this week goes to Jack Swagger versus John Cena. Now, I know a lot of you will not agree with me here, but it wasn't because of the wrestling standard. I looked for a best match this week. there was no standout matches, so I went with one that told the best story. And this is really hyping me up, because I see something happening in the future, and I am going to call it now that John Cena will turn heel in Miami against The Rock. It's going to get to him there, and that's where it's all going to happen, just like Steve Austin did back at another WrestleMania. The match itself never really kicked off, but it really showed some attitude in John Cena, and I'm happy, even if they don't go with the full-fledged heel turn, to just see attitude in John Cena again. Hey, I'd even be happy with the return of the rapper gimmick. Finally, this would not be Fourdown's official radio show without mentioning some things from Fourdown. Now, this week, I have not got any fantasy stuff for you. I know it's been advertised, but although I am the originator of the fantasy area, I do not read fantasy blogs. That's why I'm wanting you to help me. So I want an official fantasy correspondent. You get as long as you want to talk about fantasy wrestling on Fourdown. Send it to me in an MP3 format and it will be played on the show. Only one of you can do it, and that person will be decided in the comments box. So comment if you want, and I'll decide who takes this prestigious job later in the week. Now, on to Blog of the Week. The Blog of the Week this week goes to Dick and John's 2 Cents by eDog32. I've always loved these guys. Dick and John put on an amazing show when they've got time to join eDog, and once again it was a classic. A very short blog, a quick read, but very informative and very entertaining. I'd like to put a special mention in as well to GMT for his GMT YouTube show. It's very entertaining, very informative, and I suggest you all check it out. Well, we're coming near to the end of the show now, and finally I would like to give my prediction for the Royal Rumble. Last year I picked Alberto Del Rio and got it correct. That was quite a easy decision on my part, but this time I've decided to take a bit of a risk. I've gone for Christian. Now, after hearing that Big Show has been injured, I've got a feeling that at WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan will face a returning face Christian after Christian wins the Royal Rumble. I just think this would be an amazing matchup and would really solidify Daniel Bryan's heel turn, as Christian could do a great job of making Daniel Bryan into a great heel. Well, that's the end of this show. Thanks for listening if you've survived all 9 minutes, and thank you for listening once again. Runner, runner, runner. Listen again in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Meep, meep. Meep, meep. You think after 46 weeks you learn how to cut a promo? What was that?